Once upon a time, there was a country far beyond the horizon, and there lived a king whose children were his greatest treasure. Now one day it happened that this little boy and this little girl stopped sleeping. There was nothing that the king could do to make them sleep. The king was at his wits' end, and so he summoned his swiftest messengers and said, "Royal messengers, spread the word of sleeplessness in our castle."
ŠKODA, simply clever.
The flower birds floating in the skies scattered on the four winds. Each of them climbed to dizzy heights, and it was here that they painted the king's message by drawing beautiful lines in the sky. Hundreds and thousands of creatures all over the country saw these heavenly messages, and the rumor began to spread.
ŠKODA, simply clever.
The trumpet-snouted elephants lived in the caves of the great big mountains. These wide and endless caves offered them room to walk up and down to think how to help the king's children. After some restless walks, the trumpet-snouted elephants finished the composition of a sweet lullaby. And from this day on, the song echoed from these great halls towards the castle.
ŠKODA, simply clever.
The changeling deers were the finest guides in all the country. All and sundry put their trust in them. And so they guarded many of them on their way to the castle. It was the changeling deers that could transform, change and alter, adapting to the road as they went. This gave them the wisdom to accomplish long and weary journeys.
ŠKODA, simply clever.
The vain swan was the rarest creature of all in the king's land. He was breathtakingly beautiful, but desperately shy. He would spend hour after hour grooming every single feather of his colorful coat. Only the red moon could outshine the brilliance of this swan. And every single night, the moon and the swan would tease each other. But whenever the moon answered to the swan's display, sparkling and twinkling in all shades of red, the beautiful swan took fright and vanished into his hideout. These sleepless nights made the swan think about the beauty of the day.
ŠKODA, simply clever.
The light tigers hurtling through the grass pushed ever forward. They let every town and village know about the sleeplessness of the prince and princess. On their way, they placed a light on every landmark to guide the way to the castle. The lights showed men and women, creatures and animals alike where they could help. In the days to come, the lights were seen by hundreds, thousands and millions.
ŠKODA, simply clever.
It was the clever fox who finally brought sleep back to the king's children. He was known for his sense of genius and his tiny but gigantic ideas, and those he took to the king's castle and placed them everywhere. Once being surrounded by this thoughtfulness, the children were relieved, and slowly they fell asleep. Now the children could dream in peace of cloud-walking camels, trumpet-snouted elephants, light tigers and changeling deers, the vain swan, and all the other fantastic creatures of their father's kingdom.
ŠKODA, simply clever.